Okay, so today we're diving into something pretty cool, cooperage.
You know those barrels you see at wineries and distilleries?
Yeah, the big wooden ones.
Exactly. Coopers make those.
It's a craft, right? Like a real old school kind of thing.
It is a blend of tradition and technology, you could say. It's a craft that's been around for centuries.
I bet there's so much history there. But what exactly does a cooper do? What does that even involve?
Well, at its core, cooperage is the art and science of making barrels.
Okay, so it's not just about wood then, it's about how that wood interacts with whatever's going to be inside, like wine or whiskey or whatever.
Yeah, it's about understanding how wood expands and contracts, how to shape it just right.
It must be so precise.
Absolutely. It requires incredible attention to detail, knowledge of woodworking techniques, carpentry skills.
Those barrels look sturdy, like they're held together so well. What goes into actually making one?
So a cooper needs to shape and fit pieces of wood called staves, together with incredible accuracy.
And then there's the whole bending the wood thing, right? To get that curve.
Exactly. They use heat and moisture to bend the wood, then bind it all together with metal hoops.
Wow, it's like a combination of like brute strength and delicate craftsmanship at the same time.
It really is. It's physically demanding work, but also requires a lot of precision and a deep understanding of the materials.
It's like you're not just building a container, you're building something that's going to add to the character of whatever goes inside it.
It becomes part of the aging process,
Yeah.
influencing the flavor and aroma.
So, say someone's listening to this and they're thinking, wow, that sounds really cool. I wonder what it takes to actually become a cooper. What would you tell them?
Well, like many skilled trades, it often involves a kind of apprenticeship model. You work your way up, starting with more entry-level tasks.
Like, what would someone just starting out be doing?
Imagine yourself in a bustling workshop, learning from experienced coopers.
Okay, so maybe you're not building a whole barrel on day one.
Right. You'd be assisting, prepping the wood, selecting the right pieces, even helping to shape the staves.
Learning the ropes, getting a feel for the wood.
It's about mastering the basics, understanding the tools and techniques.
And then as you progress, what sets a senior cooper apart?
A senior cooper is like the conductor of an orchestra, overseeing the entire process from start to finish.
So you've got years of experience under your belt. You're mentoring the newer folks.
They might be designing barrels, troubleshooting problems, ensuring quality control. They've seen it all.
But with all the technology we have today, is cooperage still relevant? I mean, I feel like everything's becoming automated.
You know, that's a question a lot of people ask, and it might be surprising, but the demand for handcrafted barrels is actually growing.
Really? I wouldn't have guessed that.
Especially in the premium beverage industry. People want those high-quality, handcrafted barrels.
It's like that human touch, that craftsmanship. It adds a whole other level of value.
Exactly. It's the difference between, say, a mass-produced piece of furniture and a handcrafted heirloom.
So this ancient craft has found a way to not only survive, but thrive in the digital age. And speaking of the digital age, that actually brings us to a really interesting platform called RoleCatcher.
Now, this is where things get really interesting.
RoleCatcher. Okay, so it sounds kind of futuristic, right? What is it? Like some kind of career crystal ball?
Well, not quite a crystal ball, but it's definitely a powerful tool, like having a digital career coach in your pocket.
A career coach. So does it like help you figure out what you want to be when you grow up?
It can help you explore different career paths, but it's more about navigating the job market effectively. Think of it as your secret weapon for job hunting in the digital age.
Like what? Does it rate your resume for you or something?
It can actually help you tailor your resume to specific jobs. You see, a lot of companies use these things called applicant tracking systems.
Applicant tracking systems? Sounds intense.
They're basically algorithms that scan your resume before a human ever sees it, looking for keywords and stuff.
Oh, so like if they're looking for someone with woodworking skills, I need to make sure woodworking is actually on my resume.
Exactly. And RoleCatcher can analyze job descriptions and tell you exactly which keywords to use, how to structure your experience.
So it's like having like a resume expert in your back pocket.
Exactly. It's all about using AI to your advantage. You know, working smarter, not harder.
Okay, I can get behind that. But what about interviews? That's always the part that freaks me out.
Well, get this, RoleCatcher can actually help you prep for interviews, too.
No way. How, like, does it have a crystal ball for interview questions, too?
It's got something even better, a massive database of interview questions.
Oh, seriously?
Yep, and they're tailored to specific industries and roles. So, say you're applying for a woodworking apprenticeship.
Okay, yeah.
RoleCatcher can give you a bunch of practice questions that are likely to come up in an interview for that kind of job.
That's amazing. So you're not blindsided when they ask about, like, different types of wood joints or whatever?
Exactly. It's all about targeted preparation. And it even gives you insights into what interviewers are looking for in your answers.
So, like, it's not just what's your biggest weakness. It's like, here's how to answer that question in a way that actually impresses them.
Exactly. It helps you craft responses that highlight your skills and experience in a way that resonates with what employers are looking for.
That's so cool. You know, it's funny. We started talking about cooperage, this very traditional craft, but this platform, RoleCatcher, it seems like it could help anyone, right?
Absolutely. No matter what field you're in, those core principles of understanding the job market, tailoring your application, and nailing the interview, those are universal.
So even if you're not building barrels for a living, the skills that help a cooper succeed can actually be applied to a ton of different careers.
Exactly. It all comes down to something called transferable skills, which is something that RoleCatcher is really good at helping you identify and highlight.
Transferable skills. Okay, now I'm really interested. What does that even mean? Transferable skills, huh? Okay, so like I get that a cooper needs to be good with their hands, but how does that translate to, say, being a software developer?
Well, it's not so much about the actual act of woodworking. It's more about the underlying skills involved.
Okay, so give me an example.
Take problem solving, for instance. A cooper has to figure out how to fit these oddly shaped pieces of wood together perfectly. They've got to be adaptable, think on their feet when something doesn't go to plan.
So it's that same kind of thinking, that creativity and problem solving that you'd need in any field, really.
Exactly. A software developer might hit a snag in their code, and they need that same ability to think critically, to troubleshoot and find a solution. It's those core skills that matter.
Okay, that makes sense. And I guess RoleCatcher helps you figure out what those skills are, even if you haven't thought of them that way before.
Exactly. It helps you uncover those hidden talents. Like maybe you've been volunteering at a soup kitchen, and you've learned how to manage your time, work under pressure, lead a team.
Stuff that you might not even think to put on a resume, right?
Right. But those are all valuable transferable skills, and RoleCatcher can help you showcase them to potential employers, even if they don't seem directly related to the job you're applying for.
So it's about showing employers what you're really capable of beyond just the bullet points on your resume.
Absolutely. It's about painting a complete picture of yourself, your skills, your experience, and your potential.
It's like we're not just our job titles.
Yeah.
We're so much more than that.
Precisely. We all have this unique set of skills and experiences, and it's about finding the right fit, the right role where we can really thrive.
And it strikes me that with technology evolving so quickly, the ability to learn and adapt is probably the most valuable skill you can have these days.
It's no longer enough to just learn one thing and stick with it for your whole career. We've got to be constantly evolving, learning new things, expanding our skill sets.
It's like those coopers who are still using traditional techniques but are always looking for ways to improve, to experiment with new materials or methods.
They're a perfect example of lifelong learning in action.
That's a great way to put it.
Mm.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of cooperage and career hacking with RoleCatcher, I think the big takeaway here is that no matter what your background is, no matter what your passions are, there's a path out there for you. And with the right tools and a little bit of effort, you can absolutely craft a career that's both fulfilling and successful. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, and until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep on crafting your own unique path.